I start the song by playing some arpeggios on this synth called a C-board. If you're not familiar, it's this gel keyboard that you can program to respond to the way that you naturally want to add expression to your playing. Like, it's natural to want to press harder to get a more intense sound, or to wiggle your finger around to get vibrato. And this keyboard just lets all that flow out so naturally, while capturing all the little human nuances of your particular dynamics. Really gives the synth a human touch, which I love. Anyway, after recording the background arpeggios, I played it out of a portable speaker and slowly moved it around an echoey room to make it sound like it was floating around. The melody on top is also made using a C-board, and it's probably a better example of how expressive it can be. I ran that synth through my double pendulum simulation, which gives it a very subtle distortion. I'll make a video on that later because it's too much to explain here. The robotic voice in this song is just normal singing, but pitch shifted down an octave with Logic Pro's pitch correction, same as the previous song. The piano sounds you're hearing are also played on the C-board, using its stock plugin called Equator. Maybe this isn't as interesting as I think it is, but the piano sounds aren't samples, they're made completely from mathematically generated waveforms. Then I just filter it and adjust the volume in all the right ways to make it sound like a piano. Sure, that's just synthesis, but I don't know, I think it's pretty cool you can imitate real instruments like that. Anyway, I run the fake piano through this tape player from the 60s. I love this thing. It's all over Operaville. It has this beautiful distortion and filtering from the analog circuitry, and of course the tape warble that makes the pitch of whatever comes out of it wiggle around. I guess my one complaint is that it's a piece of garbage. I had to open up the back and adjust some stuff to get it to actually play, and even so, the tape warble can just be too much. I mean, I like it when it makes a bold move, but sometimes it's just too much and sounds bad, and I just have to keep recording it until it does a good take. I guess that makes me a hypocrite, though. Anyway, I really like how it turned out, so I'll probably make a video of the isolated fake piano audio. The next interesting sound is this one. I forgot what this is. Sorry. Okay. So far we've covered the intro, a verse, and a chorus. For the next verse, I layer a bunch of the arpeggios on top of each other, and I make their timing drift so they alternate between being in sync and out of sync with each other. That's nothing groundbreaking, but sometimes I have to consciously make the song progressively build momentum. It's easy to just stack cool parts together, but as a listener, you want the song to tell a story, and usually people like stories where the complexity or intensity or energy or whatever builds up over time. Of course, it's okay to drop the energy, but I just need to make sure I'm being intentional when I do that. I think being intentional has really made my music better, so I can't recommend that highly enough. It's probably good life advice too. Okay, so we move on to the second chorus, and I really love how the vocal harmony turned out. Where are you? Where are you? All the layers are using that same pitch shifting technique, and it's so buzzy, it kind of tickles your ears. After that, the song heads into the bridge, which is just an a cappella section where I automate the reverb to go up and down. Then we head into the final section where I bring back the layered arpeggio idea and expand on it. In this section, each layer actually has a different tempo, which smears everything out over time. This works best when you just keep playing one chord. Otherwise, if you're changing chords all the time, you can't drift too far without ending up playing two chords at once and sounding like a mess. Maybe that sounds cool though. I don't know. Try it out. Speaking of chords, the sustain notes you're hearing are sine waves played through the interferometer. That's another instrument that takes a while to explain, so be on the lookout for that video. During the climax, I crank up the gain on the interferometer to really let its characteristic sound shine through. Also, during that moment, I pulsate a really deep note using my C-board and force the rest of the tracks to dip in volume whenever a pulse hits. That's called sidechain compression, for those who don't know. During this section, I also get naked and climb under a waterfall and let out this primal scream. I didn't actually let out a primal scream naked under a waterfall, but when I was in high school, my friend's mom told me that she did that the first time I had dinner at their house. I think that's just how she gets to know new people. Anyway, from there the song winds down, and we end with the interferometer playing a chord. And that's it. If there's any track that you'd like to hear me isolate, just let me know. I'm already going to isolate the piano sound. I'd be happy to do it for others too. And if you'd like to hear the whole song without me interrupting it, then I'll put the link in the description. Okay, see you next time.